Welcome to Behind the Stars, where Hollywood's most glamorous, daring, and unforgettable moments are revealed in all their sparkling intensity. And today's story is one that has left the entire world captivated, whispering in awe and gasping with disbelief. Because Rosamund Pike, the elegant, sophisticated, and always unpredictable actress who has stunned us for years with her performances in movies like Gone Girl and Die Another Day, has stepped into the spotlight once again, but this time in a way that no one could have anticipated, as she bared it all, leaving little to the imagination, in a bold, unapologetic, and breathtakingly daring appearance that has now become the talk of Hollywood, fashion circles, and fans across the globe. A moment so dramatic and glamorous that it has blurred the lines between artistry and shock value, making people wonder whether they had just witnessed a style statement or an act of rebellion against the carefully constructed norms of Hollywood elegance. Because Rosamund Pike has always been known as an actress who commands attention with grace, intelligence, and an aura of mystery. But this time, she showed a side that was raw, vulnerable, and almost untamed. A side that glitters with boldness and screams with confidence, and as the cameras flashed, capturing every angle, every daring detail, every breathtaking second, the audience was left in stunned silence, realizing they were watching history unfold. Because Rosamund had decided to challenge not just fashion boundaries, but also the expectations of what Hollywood stars are supposed to do, showing us all that she is more than just a refined screen goddess. She is also a woman unafraid to own her body, her choices, and her narrative. And this particular moment, where her sheer outfit and strikingly fearless stance made headlines, was not just about beauty or allure. It was about empowerment, about self-expression, about the fine balance between glamour and audacity. And with every flash of the camera, with every gasp from the crowd, Rosamund reminded us why she is not just a movie star, but also a symbol of modern Hollywood, a Hollywood that is both glitzy and rebellious, sophisticated and unrestrained, polished and daring. And as the photos spread like wildfire across social media platforms, the conversations grew louder, the debates hotter, and the fascination deeper. Because this wasn't just Rosamund Pike showing off her beauty. It was her taking control of her narrative, forcing everyone to look, to react, to discuss, and to remember her not just as a character on screen, but as a fearless icon of reality. One who dared to bear it all in a way that was as artistic as it was shocking, as glamorous as it was controversial, leaving fans wondering what lies behind this bold transformation, what message she wanted to convey, and why, in this very moment, Rosamund Pike has managed to completely redefine the limits of Hollywood elegance and star power. As the buzz surrounding Rosamund Pike's daring reveal continued to swell, it became clear that this was not just another fleeting red carpet spectacle, but rather a cultural moment that cemented itself into the Hollywood narrative. And the way fans, critics, and fashion commentators responded only added more fuel to the fire. Because while some praised her audacity, applauding her for breaking free of the rigid molds that often define actresses in the industry, others whispered in shock, unable to reconcile the image of the dignified, eloquent star they had known for years with this unapologetically raw and revealing version of her. And yet, that very contradiction became the foundation of the fascination. Because Rosamund has always embodied duality, her performances glide seamlessly, from fragility to ferocity, from vulnerability to steel. And now, her fashion choices reflected the very same essence, reminding the world that true glamour is not about perfection, but about unpredictability. That allure lies not in covering, but in daring to reveal. Not just the body, but the soul. And as she walked with effortless poise, her eyes locking with the lenses that surrounded her like an ocean of flashing lights, You could sense a message reverberating beyond the glittering fabric of her see-through ensemble. A message that whispered of liberation, of owning femininity on her terms, of refusing to let age, expectation, or industry standards dictate how far she could push the boundaries of self-expression. And in that boldness lay the secret to why everyone could not look away. Why the images circulated endlessly online. Why headlines screamed her name across magazines and digital feeds. Because Rosamund Pike had become, in that instant, a muse of both glamour and rebellion, an icon of beauty intertwined with shock, a reminder that elegance can coexist with audacity, that mystery can survive even when nearly everything is revealed, and that true stardom lies in constantly redefining oneself, so that the audience never stops watching, never stops talking, never stops marveling. And as the weeks rolled on, her bold move became the subject of late-night talk shows, glossy cover stories, and endless debates about whether Hollywood was witnessing a new era of unfiltered authenticity. Because here was a woman in her prime, an actress whose career had spanned decades, suddenly stealing the spotlight from younger rising stars by proving that reinvention is the ultimate power move. And while the critics scrambled to analyze every thread of her daring outfit, every gesture of her confident strut, the fans embraced her more fiercely than ever, turning her into a symbol of empowerment, of confidence, of timeless glamour that refuses to fade. And what made this moment even more unforgettable was how effortlessly Rosamund seemed to balance the spectacle with substance, never letting the outfit overshadow her poise, never letting the controversy dilute her brilliance, but instead using it all to remind the world that she remains an actress of unparalleled depth, a star who commands attention not just for what she wears, but for the aura she exudes, for the sense of danger wrapped in elegance that makes her so impossible to ignore. And by bearing it all, she did not lose her mystery, she deepened it, creating a new layer to the enigma of Rosamund Pike, ensuring that this moment will be remembered not just as a fashion statement, but as a declaration of power, as a turning point where a Hollywood legend redefined herself before our very eyes, leaving little to the imagination yet leaving everything to interpretation. Because in the end, Rosamund proved that true icons never follow, they lead. They shock, they inspire, and above all, they endure.